Drake Maye looks like he's done enough, and Jacoby Brissett goes down, but how much will that factor into the decision of whether or not he should start Week 1, along with the offensive line, which performed very poorly in the Patriots preseason finale against the Washington Commanders? We'll examine it all and more tonight here on Pat's Cast.
Ready or not, here comes the young blood. Pat's Cast crying, give the kids some love.
Welcome to Pat's Cast. I'm Brad Whitaker. Good to be with you this late Sunday evening. Hey, if you need a VPN, why don't you get 3 months off of a 12-month membership with ExpressVPN? Visit expressvpn.com/PatsCast to get 3 months off of a 12-month plan. Again, that's expressvpn.com/PatsCast. Now, the Patriots lost their preseason finale 20-10 this evening. Trace McSorley, the quarterback for the Commanders, fourth string, third string, I don't know what he is, looked pretty good. I always liked him at Penn State. He's the reason the Patriots ultimately lost this game, with the Commanders scoring 17 points in the fourth quarter tonight. Looks like the Patriots had it, but really only going to talk about the first half today. Yeah, Joe Milton was out there, and he can't throw a 5-yard pass slowly. It's just a mess. So I'm not going to get into the second half stuff, focusing on the first half. Jacoby Brissett, Drake Maye, and that horrendous performance by the Patriots offensive line, which got Jacoby Brissett injured, by the way. It doesn't look like a serious injury. I thought it was a left shoulder injury. It was actually a right shoulder injury. Patriots announced he was questionable to return, even though he wasn't going to return anyways after playing just one series, but saying questionable in the middle of the game means it's probably not that serious of an injury, not a season-ending injury, and I still think he's being considered for the Week 1 job. But that's just another variable that the Patriots have to factor into that decision-making, especially because Drake Maye had another terrific preseason performance. 13 of 20, 126 yards, 1 touchdown, should have been 2 touchdowns, but these penalties were horrible. And a lot of it had to do with the fact that the NFL was trying to make a point. And the Patriots offensive line had so many penalties in the first half today. 8 penalties, 2 bad snaps, 2 injuries, if you count the Jacoby Brissett one, and Sidy Sow went out with an ankle injury. Chuks Okorafor at left tackle got called for illegal formation 3 times. 3 times. Now, I think this was the NFL sending a message, because if you've noticed over the years, the tackles have started slowly drifting further and further back, and I think the NFL is finally cracking down on that. Sounds like Okorafor was warned early in the game about it, and then he just kept doing it. So they called illegal formation on him 3 times, and one of the penalties was actually a touchdown pass. A great play by Drake Maye, scrambling to his left, throwing on the run, off balance, finds KJ Osborne, who makes a nice little hook move after the catch and runs into the end zone for a touchdown. They call it back. And the ref actually mocked Chuks Okorafor on it, saying once again 77 is called for illegal formation. Not a great day for the Patriots offensive line. And it was also the reason Jacoby Brissett hurt his shoulder. And like I said, Chuks Okorafor, 3 illegal formation penalties. Sidy Sow had a holding call and an ankle injury. We don't know if he'll be back. Nick Leverett started at center. David Andrews rested today. 2 bad snaps from Nick Leverett. Leighton Robinson, the rookie at right guard, terrific camp. I've been saying on this podcast all summer that, hey, I think he deserves a starting spot. He's earned it. I don't know about that anymore. Had a false start, had a holding call, and then Michael Wenu was also called for an illegal formation, and Michael Jordan also called for a holding when Sidy Sow went out with an injury. And it wasn't even just the penalty calls, it was the blocking. The reason Brissett got hurt is because it looked like the Patriots were running like a screen pass to Jaheim Bell, their new tight end / hybrid running back player that they got in the late rounds. They pulled Sidy Sow at the left guard to get the right edge rusher, and Leighton Robinson couldn't block, backed into Sidy Sow. That made the play blow up, and then Brissett hurt his shoulder on it. And that just was the story of the night for the offensive line, and that's the reason Jacoby Brissett, although he was only going to play a series or 2, they didn't want to risk it and put him out there for a second series, and then Drake Maye played the rest of the second half. But here's the thing, Drake Maye, the O-line still played terrible with him out there, and he was still productive out there in ways that I don't think Jacoby Brissett can be productive behind a bad O-line. And I've heard the argument all summer long, and we're going to hear it in the next couple of days before the Patriots officially announce their week 1 starter. You got to sit Drake Maye because, yeah, he looks like the better quarterback out there, but we don't want to put him behind this bad O-line, get him beat up, get him injured. We don't want any of that to happen. Let's just put Jacoby Brissett out there as cannon fodder. That seems to be the argument among a lot of Patriots fans right now, and I think we're going to hear it from the Boston sports media in the next 24 to 48 hours. That's the argument, but if your goal is to actually try to win football games, which I hope is the goal, right? Like, I know we're in a rebuild. I know the Patriots aren't winning the Super Bowl this year. But if the goal is to try to win football games, then you want a quarterback out there who's going to be able to bail them out of bad situations, which Drake Maye did time and time again tonight. His first series in the game, of course, there was a penalty. They got backed into their own goal line or near there. They're at like the 3rd or 4th yard line. 3rd and 14. Drake Maye drops back, nobody open, everyone's covered. He runs up the field for about 15, 16, 20 yards or so, gets a first down. Jacoby Brissett wouldn't have made that play. Joe Milton might have made that play, but also Joe Milton would have thrown a check down and hit the running back right in the helmet before he's even turned around. So, yeah, okay, Joe Milton's not going to be out there. But Drake Maye bails them out in those situations, and he kept doing that. And he even has velocities on his throws when he doesn't have a lot of room to move in the pocket. In fact, Maye's body doesn't even have to be pointed at the receiver. Like, there was a throw that he made to his left where he was facing the goalpost and then threw it to his left side like it was nothing. Perfect pass. I think it went to Jalen Polk or somebody. Yeah, I think it was Jalen Polk. And that ultimately was the reason he was able to lead them down the field. There were more penalties on that first scoring drive that Drake Maye led them down. Didn't matter. They still got in the end zone, and they had a touchdown. The touchdown pass went to, let's see, I'm trying to pull it up here in the sheets. I'm not sure I have it in front of me. I'm not sure who scored the touchdown, so let me know in the comments because I don't have the clip right in front of me. But Drake Maye basically threw a pass to his right that Mac Jones tried to throw twice in Dallas last year that ended up being in turning into pick sixes or near pick sixes. But just because of the velocity on the throw, Maye was able to get it to the receiver who was able to run in for a touchdown. Actually, I think was it one of the running backs? Oh, no, it was Kevin Harris. Yeah, it was one of the running backs. It was Kevin Harris. He's the one who scored the lone touchdown. But then there was another play where Drake Maye should have had a touchdown, which was called back from an illegal formation from Chuks Okorafor. That was just an incredible throw of him rolling to his left and finding KJ Osborne, really throwing off balance and throwing it very accurately. And that's really what I'm impressed with Drake Maye, just how accurate he looks out there, because I was hearing throughout college and watching some of his highlights, like he wasn't the most accurate quarterback, but I think he is the most accurate quarterback on this depth chart right now. With all the experience that Jacoby Brissett has, we just haven't seen him do anything in these preseason games. And yeah, we're going to hear, well, he's had a good camp. It's been neck and neck between him and Drake Maye, but Drake Maye's been the better quarterback the last, 2 or 3 weeks now, even in practices, even playing with the second unit and just getting a few snaps behind center under David Andrews with the first team. He's been the better quarterback. And, there was one point he lost his shoe today and was still able to check the pass down and make a positive play out of it. And that's what Drake Maye brings to the table. Yeah, he's going to be exposed quite a bit if he starts week 1. He's going to be exposed pre-snap, reading defenses. But if you need to put a quarterback that's going to be able to deal with a bad offensive line, I'm going to take the young, rookie, mobile quarterback that spent his entire college career behind one of the worst O-lines in college football, Drake Maye. And this is not Mac Jones. We have to stop treating him with Mac Jones kid gloves and saying like he's going to get beat up and lose his confidence. No, this is a quarterback that seems to get better the more he gets hit. That's the type of quarterback Drake Maye is. And yeah, he's going to get exposed. He's going to take a ton of hits if he starts week 1 throughout the season. He's going to take a ton of hits from Cincinnati, from Seattle, from New York, certainly from San Francisco, from all of those defenses. And you know what I say? Good. He needs to learn. He needs to develop. And if there's anything we've learned about Drake Maye over the last 3 weeks is he learns quickly. He learns from his failures very quickly. He rarely makes the same mistake twice. I think he made a mistake in Eagles joint practice that resulted in a positive pass to Javon Baker because he made the right read in the preseason game a couple of days later. Like, that's how quickly Drake Maye learns from his mistakes. And what I'm worried about is now you put him number 2 on the depth chart. He hardly gets any snaps during the regular season, and you want to bring him in sometime week 8, week 10, around Thanksgiving, who knows. And he's going to lose the momentum that he's built up over these last 3 weeks. And if you're also picking who's the better quarterback, I'm going to pick the guy who's actually led the offense down on scoring drives throughout the preseason. Drake Maye's done it twice. Jacoby Brissett should have done it once, and he threw a red zone interception that should have been a pick 6. I think Drake Maye deserves this. I really do. If we're trying to win football games, if Jerod Mayo wants to win football games, if Alex Van Pelt wants to win football games, they're going to put him out there. And I'm just not sure that's what's going to happen, because I think there's some cynicism there among Alex Van Pelt, who I like, by the way. I've been kind of hard on him the last couple podcasts. I like Alex Van Pelt. I think he was probably the right choice for the offensive coordinator, but he knows if this team wins 4 games with Drake Maye out there the entire season, he may not be coming back. Whereas if they win 4 games with Jacoby Brissett, well, they're rebuilding. Let's roll this back again another year. I think that's what's factoring into this decision, and the fact Alex Van Pelt has worked with Jacoby Brissett before. But now we have the shoulder injury to Jacoby Brissett. We have the fact Drake Maye's outplayed him in the 2 preseason games where both quarterbacks had real playing time, and the fact Drake Maye's outplayed Jacoby Brissett the last 3 weeks at training camp. I think that should be enough, especially when you look at how much he's developed and how quickly he's been able to pick up on things. The younger you are, the easier it is to learn. All right, that's why you learn a foreign language when you're 3 or 4 years old and not when you're in your 30s and you're trying to you can't pick up 1 through 10. You can't read the numbers. That's going to be the case with Drake Maye. He's going to learn very quickly as long as you give him the experience out there and let him have his struggles. The struggles are good because the failures that he has in year 1 are ideally going to be things that he doesn't fail with in year 2 or year 3. Whereas if he doesn't have those failures in year 1, well, then he might have them in year 2. And that's what really has to factor into this decision. But just his ability to roll out through what should have been a 50-yard touchdown to KJ Osborne, the throw to Kevin Harris to his right with the velocity, the fact that it looks like he doesn't have his feet set and he still can throw the ball with velocity. He can work within a small pocket. He can get out of the pocket quickly and extend plays with his feet or run downfield for 10 to 15 yards. These are things Jacoby Brissett can't do, and I think you also have to consider that Jacoby Brissett hasn't had a good preseason, and I think at best has had a mediocre camp. And again, this isn't Drake Maye sitting behind Brett Favre. This isn't Drake Maye sitting behind Alex Smith. This isn't even Drake Maye sitting behind Joe Flacco, who I thought the Patriots should have signed as the bridge quarterback 6 months ago. I was saying it should be Joe Flacco, not Jacoby Brissett. I know Jacoby Brissett's been in New England before. He's worked with Van Pelt, but so had Joe Flacco. Had a great season with Van Pelt. If it were Joe Flacco out there, I would not be saying this, because I would say Joe Flacco's won Super Bowls before. He had a great season last year. If he's the bridge guy, like, I get the argument. You put him out there for year 1, and then you put Drake Maye in for year 2. But if you want the best quarterback out there, if the competition is Brissett and Maye, it's got to be Maye. Maye's been the better guy out there, and he has a very high ceiling, especially if you play him all 17 games this year and let him learn from those failures. But I'm not sure it's going to happen, and we're going to find out, right? We're probably going to find out sometime within the next 24 to 48 hours on who the starting quarterback is for the Patriots. And look, I'm going to the game Cincinnati, so I'm a little biased. Like, I want to see Drake Maye out there. Like, that, I think we need some hope. We need some optimism among us Patriots fans. I think for a team that had 20 years of nothing but success, we've accepted failure a little too much when we're sitting there saying, we shouldn't put the rookie quarterback of the future out there now. Come on. Like, this is an entertainment product. This is a guy who was drafted 3rd overall. These quarterbacks tend to start, and if they look like the better quarterback at training camp, they should start. And I hope Jerod Mayo and Alex Van Pelt, who's probably really making the decision, I hope that's a decision that they ultimately make. But I wouldn't bet on it right now. I think it's going to be Brissett. And I think the reason is, and they won't say this because they've been saying, hey, it's a quarterback competition. We're going to put the best guy out there. They've been saying that. It has nothing to do with the O-line. But if they pick Jacoby Brissett, I think it has absolutely everything to do with the O-line and trying to protect their quarterback and preventing him from getting hurt, because we saw Jacoby Brissett get hurt today. We saw Sidy Sow get hurt today. And is that going to be Drake Maye in week 1 or week 2 when he's going against the Bengals pass rush or the Seahawks pass rush? I mean, and then you have the Jets and the Niners pass rush. I get it. Like, he's going to get the crap kicked out of him. Whoever's at quarterback is going to get the crap kicked out of them. So we'll see. But it really comes down to the offensive line, too. I mean, the success of this team depends on that O-line. They tried a new combination today with Vidarian Lowe injured, starting Chukwuekorfor at left tackle. I don't think we're going to see that many illegal formation calls. I know hopefully Okorafor learned his lesson, but the NFL primetime last preseason game in the entire league, they wanted to send a message, so they just said the refs call anything even close to an illegal formation, and that's what happened. But Chukwuekorfor at left tackle, not a great game. Sidy Sow out with an injury. Michael Jordan filled in for him. Nick Leverett won't be the starting center, but he had 2 bad snaps. Layden Robinson, I don't think, earned the starting job today with a false start and a holding penalty and just didn't play well generally. So I think if Vidarian Lowe's healthy, I would expect the Patriots, unfortunately, to move back to that offensive line they've been working with Vidarian Lowe at left tackle, left guard, Sidy Sow if he's healthy, or maybe Michael Jordan, or maybe Layden Robinson, then David Andrews at center, Michael Onwenu back at right guard, and then you put Chukwuekorfor or Caden Wallace at the right tackle spot. I think if Vidarian Lowe's healthy, that's probably what they're going to do. It's not what I wanted to see, but I really thought this O-line would look a lot better today with Michael Onwenu at right tackle, especially because the Patriots were mostly going against backup defensive players from the Commanders. So not a great look on the O-line, but like I said, I hear the argument. You want to protect the young rookie, but you also have a rookie out there who has the ability to deal with a bad O-line in ways that the veteran quarterback cannot. So I'm in the Maye camp. We're going to find out very soon. We'll be here at Pat's Cast to cover it throughout this week. If you like this video, be sure to smash that like button, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to this channel on YouTube, or subscribe if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. And we'll see you throughout the week.
Old guard sitting high in their throne. New kid raring, but they ain't throwing no bone. Coach so stubborn, holding tight to the past. Fans chant loud, putting Maye to the task. Ready or not, here comes the young blood. Pat's cast crying, give the kids some love. Veteran standing like a stone wall tall, but the rookie got the fire that'll change it all. Cast blasting across the radio waves. Drake Maye's here to lead us out of the caves. Season shining bright like a gleaming new dawn, but they stick to the old line, it just feels wrong. Ready or not, here comes the young blood. Pat's cast crying, give the kids some love. Veteran standing like a stone wall tall, but the rookie got the fire that'll change it all. Got the dreams hanging on a thread, overhead stuck, drowning in their bed. We want action, not just fossils in display. Give me the spark, we got faith in Maye. Ready or not, here comes the young blood. Pat's cast crying, give the kids some love. Veteran standing like a stone wall tall, but the rookie got the fire that